FastCast TV. So today we're going to talk about a mini-series called The Lost Room. It aired on Sci-Fi at least a decade ago. At least a decade ago? Maybe around a decade ago. My understanding is that it kind of ended up sort of inspiring the show of Warehouse 13. The concept of this show is that sometime in the 60s, some kind of weird cosmic event happened that essentially erased this 10th room from existence. They got a motel, 10 rooms in a row. Now there's only 9 in an empty space where 10 was. It's been erased from reality. But all of the items, from the room itself to the man who was in it to all the items that were in the room, are now all charged, and they'll do things. So like there's the bus ticket. Tap someone on the forehead with the bus ticket, they instantly get transported to this one spot in New Mexico. The pencil, tap the pencil, every time you tap it, a penny falls out. The nail file, if you hold it a certain way, it puts people to sleep. Pen, you click the pen into somebody's neck and it burns them from the inside out. And of course, the key. The key unlocks any door with a lock in it, but when you open the door, you then go into the motel room instead of wherever that door normally leads, and hence the Lost Room. So this show stars Peter Krause, Juliana Margulies, his daughter is Elle Fanning, a number of other people that you've seen before. Kevin Pollak, I think, is one of them. A bunch of other sort of sci-fi original actors. The main thrust of this show, of this story, is that you've got these people who have been tracking and trying to find these objects because of their power. Peter Krause sort of ends up getting the key and gets all drawn into this world of nefariousness of these people trying to track these objects. The main point of the story, however, is that anything you put into the room and then close the door and then open it again is gone forever, except objects. So if you put objects in the room, close the door, open it back up again, the object will be wherever it's supposed to be in that room. But if it's not an object, it's erased. And his daughter goes into the room, the door gets shut, he opens it, and she's gone. So the thrust of this story is him trying to get his daughter back, period. All this other stuff that happens around it is great. As with so many sci-fi original miniseries, I think that it's like 80% great and 20% ridiculous. There's like 3 or 4 main plot lines, and all of them I think work really well except for one. There's one of this guy who like worked with him at the police department, ends up joining this like over-the-top religious cult, and that plot line I think overplays its hand in the way that most sci-fi miniseries do. Most of them have one bit where they're just like, and then there's this crazy thing, and you're like, okay, come on. It's acted okay, but I think that the material just wasn't good enough. However, that being said, it is a really interesting series, and I think the ideas that it explores are really fun. And I just recently rewatched it because I just remembered all of a sudden, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that thing. This was before Juliana Margulies did The Good Wife, so it was still when she was that woman who was on ER. I mean, I'm sure she had done some other stuff, but to me that was like, oh, that's that woman from ER. And Peter Krause was before Parenthood, so it was still when he was that guy from 6 Feet Under. So that's The Lost Room. I do recommend it if you're looking for something to kill a couple of nights. It's a 3 episode miniseries, so it's like 3 hour-and-a-half chunks. I highly recommend it. Maybe name mine FastCast TV. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching the FastCast. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. J Handle, and check back because I do this a couple times every week. FastCast.